nonprofits, small businesses, you need AI solutions, but you may not have the financial means to get these AI solutions that you really want. The higher you go in success, sometimes the quieter the applause of the people, but it's okay. Right? You cannot turn on TV, you can't do anything without people talking about artificial intelligence.
So today I'm going to be speaking with a friend, but also I'm a fan. I'm going to be talking with the amazing Valarie Mackey today. She is not just a part of the workforce conversation, she is shaping where it is going. She's a powerhouse CEO, a people first strategist, and a two-time Titan Award winner for Top CEO in 2025 and 2026 back to back. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Boss Decoders. And welcome to the mic, Miss Valarie Mackey.
Wow, this is exciting. Thank you for having me. I am excited to be here. And I just love the concept Boss Decoders. That's pretty interesting. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. The thought process between or behind starting Boss Decoders was I was like, you know what, we're having a lot of conversations with each other that folks aren't privy to. And we talk a lot about what opportunities there are for people out there and what they need to be doing and how they should be doing. And we're really trying to build a network of professionals who can help people decode their bosses, but who are also bosses themselves, who have mastered the game and know what there is, what it means to be successful in their corporate careers, or even as an entrepreneur. And that seems to be your world and realm right now, Valarie. So let's talk about what you're working on right now. Tell us a little bit about how you got here, and let's start from there.
Okay. So I think journeys are very different and shouldn't be a straight road. Mine definitely was not a straight road, but I'm grateful for every turn, every bend, everything that has happened to get me to here. So I guess you say what got me here, what am I doing? I will start, I guess, a little bit about the beginning and work my way up, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. I am an engineer by trade or by degree. I'm an engineer. So the way my brain works is kind of logical. And then went from engineering into technology. So that STEAM world is very comfortable for me. I love the whole STEAM or STEM world, whichever one you like. I like STEAM because it does have the A for science, technology, arts. Science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So I do like that terminology. So started with technology and consulting, management consulting, the big five, big four, it changed a lot, but started there with Ernst & Young Consulting, was implementing technology, and then got on the kind of cutting edge of technology from these big ERP systems, which was SAP. That was kind of my big system that we were implementing back then, business warehouse, these data lakes. But then this technology came out around portals and internet and things. So again, long time ago, but this is when we started introducing more of the self-service realm and immediately jumped on that because that was new and it was interesting. So I've always liked to be on the what's new and interesting kind of path of what's coming next. Did some more consulting work, went to another firm, helped them launch a practice, and then home team. I went to Coca-Cola. Being on the road in my 20s was cool, but then I got tired. And so let me pause for a bit. And Coca-Cola was my next turn, and was at the amazing Coca-Cola company for 12 years, global technology leader there. And so got exposure to lots of different technologies because I was responsible for technology enablement in all of these areas: human resources, public affairs, sustainability, legal. So not only did I learn about these different technologies, I was able to learn about these different processes across a company to help make a company run. Then the other experience of being a global leader meant that I traveled a lot. So I went to these different places. I had different teams in different countries. And so I developed this love for diversity. Like I loved the different people and different teams across the globe come together to produce a wonderful solution. And so that's kind of where all interest and the different aspects of my interest and knowledge and experience came from to start Right Now Solutions. So for the past 8 years, I've been running Right Now Solutions that kind of brings all of those things and all of those experience together. to what I've used to help people launch and grow their careers and get to the next level in their life and careers, and help organizations actually understand when they're talking about their strategy, their people, process, and technology, how to bring those things together. So that was kind of what I ventured out to start doing. And we can talk more specifics, but overall, that is what I'm doing now and have been doing for the past 8 years.
Wow, now that journey, that's and an impressive one, and it explains how you won the Titan Awards and the multiple awards you won over your career. So Valarie, talking about the fact that you have had a technology background and you were different areas of technology. Right now, what do you see as a current technology that people should really be focused on, no matter what career path they've chosen?
I guess the obvious answer is artificial intelligence, right? We cannot turn on TV. You can't do anything without people talking about artificial intelligence. So I clearly has to be the thing that no matter what you do, no matter what your job is, this is going to be important. As a matter of fact, it's not even just what job you're in, it's about life. So we even have a program called AI for Lifestyle. So it's basic information that you have to use AI for, just whether it is helping craft emails to the school system for your child to make sure that's constructed in the right way, whether that's helping you decide what to do on the weekend with your family, all the way up to, how to analyze a vacation. You have that, and that's just life. And you're talking about from a work for every job, whether you're in finance, whether you're in marketing, whether you are in technology itself. It is going to help you be more efficient in your career. It is going to help you become the indispensable one when you learn or know artificial intelligence. So hands down, that's the thing right now for everyone.
And do you think it's something that everyone can do and that they're capable of actually learning?
Absolutely. I have experienced everybody at every level is using AI. I'll give you a couple of examples. One, my father, who is 78, I believe, somewhere in there. Yeah, he's using it, daily. He understands it. He gets it. So it's not even like it's difficult to understand. So I'm saying, of course, if you're in your 20s or 30s, you're technology, but if you're 78, you're not, and you still get it. So that's how much you can. It doesn't matter where you are. We had an artificial intelligence cohort that we did recently where students came from all different levels. They were young adults that were entering or wanting to enter a technology career. Now, their background wasn't necessarily technology. Their background wasn't necessarily been to college or in college programs. So, but what I noticed in that AI cohort that we did with these specialists, they all caught on. And some people caught on to tools that were more privy to creating websites. That was just a thing they liked. Some of them liked the video production piece of it. Some liked the agents, automation. There's so many different areas of AI. It's not just one thing. So you can gravitate to what your natural abilities are. You're more of a creative. So that video production may be your thing, leveraging AI or creating content. And so to be able to do things that are interesting to you and what you can build a career in. So we've actually created things to help those folks that came out of that cohort build their portfolios, to build.
Talk a little bit about that. Yeah, that's great. That's the piece, right? People go learn this technology, and then what do you do with it? And I do know that you have built a program that helps people post their graduation. You want to talk a little bit about what that entails and what types of careers that's preparing people for?
Sure. That artificial intelligence COE came from knowing people are learning this technology because, again, there are a lot of people out here learning because everybody's learn it. Okay, right. We learn it, and then you get certified in it, and you become a specialist. But just like any other job, who's hiring somebody that just has a certification? Right. We try it, and we've been in workforce development. And I mean, you've been in workforce development for a long time as well. So, like anybody else, you can get a certification, but then it's really tough for a company to vouch for your skills and pay you for something that you don't have experience in.
Right.
And so what we wanted to do is kind of close. and say, okay, you need experience in order to be looked at from a career perspective. You need to
Hmm.
get real world experience. You need to build a portfolio in AI. Okay, nonprofits, small businesses, you need AI solutions, but you may not have the financial means to get these AI solutions that you really want.
Hmm.
So let's bridge that gap. They need experience, you need solutions. Okay, let's come. And so
Right.
what we're offering up is to small businesses and nonprofits the ability to have AI solutions at no cost or low cost, because we have to pay for the tools,
Right.
to have these solutions at a low cost, while they actually give our specialists a way to build a portfolio. But it's not just it's not just a match there. We actually have people that are AI experts as a part of the COE that
Hmm.
QA the solutions to make sure it's the right thing. So they get a solid solution because these newly certified folks have built it, but we have experienced AI consultants that QA and make sure it's the right thing. So everybody wins.
So that's a win-win for everybody, like you're saying. Yeah, for sure. What types of projects do they work on, the students or the graduates?
Okay, so right, the graduates. It could be anything from creating media calendar. So some of the projects have been create a 30-day calendar and content to go along with that calendar. Create viral videos for your social media content. It has been automate workflows in my email and Outlook that's connected to a CRM system. So creating
Mhm.
agents to go back and forth between email and CRM. It has been creating websites. It has been creating blogs, newsletters that populate, periodically on demand. So there's a range of things that they're capable of doing and that people need all the time.
That's awesome. What do you find is the biggest challenge once those students have completed that? You know the experience now. They really have a heart for it. They have a passion for it. They've been QA. They have other people who are looking at it and evaluating their skills. What do you feel like is the biggest challenge that a maybe an HR professional might have in selling their staff on who recently graduated? They have the experience now. What do you think a challenge would be, and how do they overcome it?
Right. So the challenge, the trust. How do you know there is a going to be a demand on people to continue to train and coach and develop these folks that may not have the skills that everybody else has? What makes them worthy of being in this seat when there are other qualified people in the industry that we could hire in this seat instead of this less experienced person? So some of the things that I found that work well for that is you clearly can find someone that's more experienced, and they may also cost 3 times as much.
Mm,
And because they're in high demand. So we talk about AI because everybody wants AI.
mm,
So is it really that many, the pool that big of people that are quality certified and experienced in AI? Because honestly, AI is not new. It's been around
mhm.
for decades. However, there aren't a lot of people that were working on it before. It is relatively newer and people getting more experience in it. So that pool is small of your folks in AI. And so their price stick with the larger price tag of the folks that are truly experienced in this world. So can you go with someone that has the experience? They're a active learner, they are continuously proactively up on the new technology, because the reality is it changes every day anyway. Like every day there's a new AI tool. So if you have somebody that is willing to go the distance to continuously learn, you have the right person that you can actually develop. And some of the things that we do offer is we will continuously coach them. So if you bring on
Right.
some of the folks that see your company, we're saying, you know what, don't worry about it. We can actually coach, develop this person continuously for the first 6 months of their role. So you, as a hiring manager, don't feel that burden. So we
Right.
can shoulder that for you so you don't feel like that you have to do it yourself.
No, that's awesome because we all know people talk the talk. They say they want to help in workforce development, but the challenge is making that commitment. And how do we get them to make the commitment? And your commitment to say, hey, we'll still help you with this individual, we'll still coach them over time, I think is really going to be key to their being successful, and to the success of the organizations. And it's always great to have young, eager minds who want to learn something new and want to do it, so that's part of teaching that COE. But you do so much more. You do much more than just the AI training. What other special projects are you working on right now that you feel like are going to feed the industry that's in Atlanta and beyond to help folks to kick careers?
Okay, a little bit, a little bit. So last night, for instance, we kicked off a Salesforce cohort. So just like we talked about, we did the AI cohort. We did that AI cohort in partnership with another organization, AI Innovision. So shout out to them. They're a wonderful organization. So we do believe in partnerships. We believe that we cannot influence this industry, this ecosystem by ourselves. Last night we kicked off a Salesforce and cohort where we're teaching people to be Salesforce admin. Salesforce is a dynamic software CRM system. And so that started, and we are using specialists from the West Coast. Like I said, I believe in partnerships and bringing the best of the best to the folks. And like tonight, I have a professional development. So we mix in the technology. So I have a partner from the West Coast that's teaching Salesforce admin. Like tonight, I'll be on with them talking about professional development and how to thrive and navigate the corporate landscape or entrepreneurship. All these programs that we run, I do believe the technology is important, but I don't that you will be successful with technology alone. And so our specialty in all of these programs, I think our key to success is making sure they are ready from a mindset perspective and from a professional development perspective. So we do a lot in that area. So that's another program we kicked off just this week is the Salesforce one.
I think I'm familiar with one of your programs. It's called the It Factor. You want to talk a little bit about what that is and how you infuse that across your different programs that you're teaching? I think it's personally, I'm a huge fan. So I'm looking forward to hearing how you describe it to our listeners.
So I know you're maybe a huge fan because you have it. So you have the It Factor. And I think, folks need to show off for other people. That is one of our signature programs. I love this program. And this entirety is the It Factor, showing up with confidence, presence, and credibility. Because again, I believe that you have to show up with not just if you want to be a technologist, but also having to show up with those things I said, confidence, presence, and credibility. And so what this program does is evaluate your leadership style. It teaches people about different leadership styles, first of all. So understanding there are different styles. Everyone is not created the same. You can be more inspirational, influential. You can be a servant leader. There's so many different types of leadership. So one, understanding what your natural gravitation is, and it doesn't have to be the same all the time. You can flip. But once you recognize what that is, we help you understand, okay, well, what do you want to be? So like when you look at people, you admire people, you have role models. What is it that those folks have? Okay, now let's make sure you're doing things in order to have those things. That role model didn't just get those things because they were born with it. It's something you grow into. And so having to remind people, this is how you go into rooms and people notice you. This is how you show up in a room, and it's not arrogance. It is something within you that people are drawn to, whether that's your outside appearance, your communication style, your personality. There's so many things that make up your total package. And it's about evaluating that. It's thinking about how do you look from the outward appearance? How are you speaking to people? And as important as that in person is your online presence. People look at you online before they even see, before they meet you, they look at you online. So it has to match. And it's about that thought leadership. Are you saying things of value that people are drawn to? Forget about the likes, forget about that. You'll get that if you're adding value to the conversation, if you're adding value to them. So the It Factor is a program that we do to make sure people understand how to show up with it and take advantage of those opportunities. Opportunities are only going to be presented to you if you have something that people want. So you're going to be given that opportunity if you have the It Factor. If you don't have it, you probably will never know about it. They want you to be in the room when you have it. And so we teach people how to show up with that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you mentioned something that I think a lot of, especially the student listeners, don't think about is their social presence, right? Social media presence. Is that You're saying all kinds of things out there. You're putting yourself sometimes in a position where others may, like you said, making a split second decision about you. And if you are looking for a job or you're seeking opportunity, you may have already blocked the opportunity by how yourself in the world. Can you give them just a snippet of what somebody is out there looking for a job right now, what they might need to do right away with their social media to pivot it or to set it up for success?
So I always tell people that when you're on social media, anything that can be used against you in a court of law shouldn't be on social media. If your grandmother looked at it and shook her head and would be disappointed in you, don't put it on social media. So look, just those are the things you shouldn't put up there. But the things you should put up there are things that you feel like people would forward because it was of value. How does it add value to you? So if it doesn't add value, why are you really putting it out there?
Out there.
Is it and it's just young people and the other platforms, is the LinkedIn presence for anybody of any stage in your career. This isn't just for younger folks. This is for all stages. Your social media presence is critical, and you can use AI to help you look at your page and say, tell me, okay, I want to recreate my LinkedIn page. Tell me the things that will get me noticed if I want to be in this role. If I want this type of career, look at my profile and tell me how to enhance my profile. So it's not about the things that you don't want to do. It's the things that you do want to do too.
Yeah, that's great feedback for good for folks. So tell me where you see the biggest gap between what employees say they want and how they actually hire and promote people.
I have seen people saying, we do want to get non-traditional hires. We do want to go think outside the box, which, we want to get rid of that term, but we do want non-traditional hires. We want to extend our reach as far as our hiring methods. But when it comes down to it, a lot of times people and companies are still hiring folks that are recommended by their internal folks, which is good, but still that breeds the same. People generally know the people that are like them. And so while we love referrals and recommendations, our referrals and recommendations internally generally are people that were at your school, that you used to work with, that have similar thought processes. And if companies are not diversifying where they're getting students from, or where they're getting their talent, which means it could be students coming out of universities that you traditionally haven't been to, you have to expand that. If it means that you're going to community colleges and not just the 4-year degrees, if it means that you are going to these conferences where they have folks that are job seekers, career changers, there are other places to go. But I just people saying, hey, it's different. We want to expand our reach, but then they don't go to different places to expand their reach.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's something that I find all the time is when I'm talking to people and they say, well, I thought you're going to send me people from this school or from that school, or they have a certification, they don't have a degree. And it's like, thinking outside of the box. So how do you think with the changes in AI and automation, especially in the hiring space, how do we help leaders to realize that they need to build that into their model, that into their prompting for hiring?
Okay, so let me make sure I got it. So we want to understand how to make sure leaders are thinking beyond
the traditional. They're fun. Like folks we used to have when it was human based, right? You had more of this person isn't a perfect match to the job description, but I can see how these skills that they may have had in the past would add up to that job, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I think with the prompts that are set for screening for AI, especially in the hiring space, the prompts are almost, do they have, does this person overqualified? Are they underqualified? And so folks are falling through the cracks who may be excellent hires for an organization. How do we educate leaders on looking beyond just the scope of the job description and how AI may assess it at first? and still add those candidates in? How do we influence them
I got
to?
it. Okay, so I think first the is the evaluation of the tools and what's going to put people in and out. It starts at the beginning. Like, is it really necessary on that job description? Which is a
Mhm.
lot of things that rule people out. When I first started doing workforce development a long time ago, a part of what I was doing was helping organizations think through their hiring process and their talent. And so let's go back to what they were doing with their talent descriptions. What I found a lot is they had these templated job descriptions, and each hiring manager would switch out, some things that were needed. And one of the things that were on job descriptions a lot was 4-year degree was required. And that's when we started getting into, well, is it required for this role? Not that it's
Mhm.
not needed for some roles. Is it required for this one? Do you really have to? Can I not succeed if I don't have a 4-year degree? Is this skill really needed? Will I be
Mhm.
unsuccessful if you don't have that? And so it goes to the basics of, are these things really necessary? Because you do need a rubric, because or you can't physically go through each one of these applications, and it's understandable that you can't. But it has to be based on the reality of what this job truly needs. So it starts there. So if you set up the criteria of degree, yes or no, then a lot of people will fall out. So start at the
Mhm.
big basis. Is this truly necessary on the job description? And then from an automation perspective, I do believe you should use it. It's much pain for an HR person to physically go through every single thing. But then you have an room error where, okay, these are the ones that fall directly, and the ones that fall on the peripheral, maybe within that 10 to 20%, this is where we shoot it over, and this is where human intercedes. So these
Yeah.
are sure in your pipeline, and then let's get humans that kind of the ones that fall somewhat in the peripheral, and then there are ones that will fall out, and that's on the person. Like, you have to cater your to the job description. So if you fall completely out, that may be on the applicant. You didn't really take the time to be serious about making sure that your resume was catered to that job description.
So one of the things those were points, Valerie. One of the things that I was discussing with somebody the other day is AI is now creating the resume, and AI is also screening the resume, and so helping to types of tips I think are helpful to leaders because it helps to build trust and keep humanity in the mix in order to help them make those evaluations that sometimes might get missed by AI. So that's great feedback. Um, so Valerie, you talked a lot about what you're working on right now, what you done in the past to help people. What do you see for the future? What do you see as things are starting to evolve? People are very nervous about their careers. We know that we had 300,000 plus African American women who are now back out in the on market on the hunt. Um, what do you see as the thing that makes people outside of the it factor training that you have the it factor, go beyond the traditional of looking for jobs, I'm networking, I'm doing those things. What are some of the things that you think could set someone apart?
We did about the help branding you and making sure you're showing up the way you show. You mentioned something, beyond the networking and all that, but I don't want to. I have to say that networking piece to me is key, but it's strategic networking. It's not just showing up to stuff. It's being
Mm-hmm.
more strategic with your networking. If you start your networking when you're looking for a job, then you're lost. That's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
You're starting at the wrong time. So going back to make sure you're involved in things all along the process. I am another role where I'm president of Atlanta Technology Professionals.
Mm-hmm.
And so that group has been around for 25 years, and there are people in that organization that are committed to relationships. I believe that this organization breeds a lot of opportunity. I know for sure people have gotten career opportunities from knowing each other from different events and that we do. So the thing is to be involved in something that is at the core center of what you truly believe in. And
Mm-hmm.
then that genuine connection to those things will bring people together and form relationships. I
Mm-hmm.
don't look at this organization as a career. It is a relationship builder for all things. Our pillars: connect, learn, and give back. Last night I was at a volunteer event that 80, I believe, came to. We all were there volunteering, talking, getting to know each other. And it wasn't about, selling a product. It wasn't about getting a job, but those relationships that you build while you're volunteering, doing something that's near and dear to your heart, stands out to a person that may be someone that, if you fall on a time when you need a job, you can call them up. That's how things are done. That's get that next opportunity. They see the genuine you, and then they want to form a relationship and see that you have leadership skills or whatever those things are. Just from that volunteer, when you like, hey, I'll do this, and you started going down how it needed to be done, somebody recognized right there your leadership qualities, and it had nothing to do with a job application. Those are the things we have to take advantage of. You have to just show up and be you and be involved. Don't think just going to work and going home every day at 5 o'clock is going to get you exposed to the next opportunity. It won't.
No advice. And one of the things that I get a lot from students when we're telling them to network is the nervousness about I don't know what to say to people when I first meet them, or I don't know where to start. And I think you saying volunteering is a great space where it's something that's already you're comfortable doing, right? So if you feel comfortable going to a homeless shelter and helping people eat, or you feel comfortable with with animals, and you want to go to ASAP or ACP, I think I got it right. You want to get then that's good. I had somebody recently, I live out in outside of Metro Atlanta on the South End, and they were like, hey, I'm going to a Toastmasters International. Now it wasn't necessarily something that I was interested in, but I was interested in learning why they were interested in it. So I went, so sometimes going along with somebody else and more. And I love the fact that ATP does the amazing things. If you're in the city of Atlanta and you're in the technical space, I recommend that you do join Atlanta Technical Professionals. I haven't joined yet.
Thank you. But you will today, and you'll be
and I do attend their events, and I that they are a phenomenal organization. And Valerie's exactly right. We have to put ourselves into spaces we're not always comfortable in. We have to do something that's a little unusual. What do you think about folks networking virtually now that some people still have not quite gotten out of the habit of wanting to be in public spaces because of this time of year or whatever? What are your recommendations around that?
I think that's great too. I actually think it's wonderful that we have gone to the place where people can join virtually, because if you don't like going out in public, this is an actual avenue too. And if you're going to do the virtual thing, please turn your camera on. What's the point of being there if you're not going to turn your camera on? So if people can't see you, why are you there? That's the thing. You join and do the things just like you were there in person. Your name is there, and that's even almost better sometimes because your name is right there. People are going to see your name every time they make to know your name, versus in person they may forget because you walk by, and if you don't have a name tag on. So virtual is fine. It's convenient. You can choose to be there without the 1 hour or 2 hours on each end of having to get dressed and go there. So I love the virtual opportunities, and you can even more if you're doing it virtual, but definitely the in-person. I love that. I think the in-person has more impact. So there's a difference. I think in-person has more impact, but virtual gives you an opportunity to join in versus just sitting on the sofa and not doing it at all. So there's steps. There's on the sofa, not at all. There's virtual, then there's in person.
I was just thinking about some of the introverted, they're not sure. At least if you start with the virtual, like you're saying, hopefully you'll eventually to wanting to be out there and folks present. So Valerie, you've done the work. You've been in it. You've been in the hot seat. You know what's going on out there in the community. You've just given some great advice to folks who are seeking jobs. What advice do you have for hiring leaders and talent acquisition professionals, communities that are often overlooked or have not had an opportunity, but truly, how do we get them hired, retained, and promoted in various industries?
To have a partner that you trust, to actually vet and understand who has the grit, the motivation, the consistent track record. So when you find like this, they're generally programs that you can go to where they have been meeting folks. And if these programs are reputable, they're going to make sure that the people they send you are going to be great candidates because they want you to come back. Right. So
Mhm.
for us, for Right Now Solutions, when Right Now Solutions does a program, I am telling these students from day one, listen, I am going to put my name on you to say you are good. So
Mhm.
I'm only going to do that if I see over these next 4 months that you are going to perform, that you're going to show up to class, you're going to show up on time, you do the work, you put it in, you understand the information. So understanding and getting certified in the technology is only a piece of it. It's the
Mhm.
other stuff, right? It is the, are you inquisitive? Are you engaged? Are you giving other people space to say things? Are you actually saying things? Do you etiquette that you need to be successful and able to navigate these unwritten and written rules in that, you're going to experience in corporate? So once I've said that, and once I see that, I'm going to put my name on you.
Mhm.
And if I that, I'm not.
Right.
So partnering with organizations like Right Now Solutions, and there's so many of them in the of them that are highly qualified to do the same thing. Partnering with them to make sure you have the ones that are going to give you the folks that you can see beyond the paper. The resume is one thing, and I can put anything on a resume.
Right.
People can create beautiful resumes, but if you have somebody that you trust that has been watching these people for months, and you'll get the talent.
Right, right. No, no, totally. That leads me to another question about you and your growth and your role. So you've done the development piece, you've been in the corporate game, you understand what that's like. You've been a CEO now for what? How long now? It's been
eight, eight
eight
years
years.
ago.
Okay, I was gonna say seven, 8 years. Um, what did becoming a CEO teach you that no corporate role could ever teach you?
Whew. I've learned. So I will go, or will say, I thought being in leadership at a corporation had gotten all the blood, sweat, and tears out of me that it could possibly get. Being CEO is a whole nother level, because every failure and every success rests on your shoulders, every one of them. So rest on you. And in a corporation, definitely the success and the failure of your team rest on you, and you take that serious. But as a CEO, the entire success and failure of your company as well as your clients rest on your shoulders, and it's no small feat. And what I've had to do is keep remembering my why, because some days get really, really challenging. And so I have to remember my why. I have to remember, and you have to ground yourself when the days get really, really tough, why you got into this in the first place. And playing those stories over in my mind. So when we deal with leaders and we work with executives all the time, those stories, when they come back and say, when you came and helped us with our culture development or our strategy, it really got us on track. Thank you. When we hear someone come back and say, you know what, you changed the trajectory of my entire family.
Mhm.
Generational poverty is no longer a thing. So remembering that why, but knowing that your skills, your experiences are important to other people, and making sure you share those skills, those experiences, and create this behind you. So all those experiences, all that of my why helps me to create other leaders. Those
Mhm.
leaders will create other leaders, right?
Mhm.
So that is, I think, what I've learned as a CEO. We have to be more and more. I have to create more real life influencers, so that I don't have to shoulder every single thing. My team is awesome. I love the people that we come in contact with. I call everybody the Right Now Solutions family, not just staff or contractors. We're a family. And so making people feel welcome, that they can actually take on whatever I'm doing, they own it. I have to make sure that it's not just a delegation thing where in corporate you do delegate a lot. As a CEO, I am honestly trying to build new leaders. I'm trying to build real life influences every day.
I mean, I just think of some folks who, if I just rattled off their names and their businesses, people, and I know that you coached them along the way and where they are now, people would be blown away. I could just think, I could think of five off the top of my head. So, hey, like I said, huge fan.
It's been a
Um,
blessing to me. They've been a blessing to me as well.
It's what you just said, like being an influencer, a person who actually tries to help other people, you automatically are right from what you learn from them, the what they you is it's a mutual thing. So I can say that I definitely again fan. What do you think is the thing that as a CEO you learned the hard way that now shows up in how you lead every single day?
What I had to learn the hard way is not everything is aligned with us. Not every project is meant to be taken by us. Not every dollar is meant to be made by us. And some relationships you have to stop. And you earlier on, we were in everything, we hold on to it. We had to make sure it happened. Even if they didn't pay invoices for 5-6 months, we're like, well, but we need them. They're a client. We need them. Okay, but after a while, I had to realize that we have to let it go. If it's the alignment is not there, the appreciation is not there, or whatever that may be, I had to stop saying yes for too long. Sometimes it was a role, sometimes it was client partnerships. I had to learn, even though I liked some of the people, maybe the partnership is just not it. So I had to learn that I cannot say yes too long. Sometimes it's not working, and that's what it is.
And that's okay. That's okay. There's the reason season. What is it? Reason season. Sometimes people are
Everything
like,
has a reason. Everything has a season. Yep.
and then, you go on and lesson, right? So,
Right.
I think that every relationship or every interaction is of value. It's capping, right?
Yep.
This has been a quick 45. I'm telling you. I'm going to leave with our signature coders question. If success were no longer defined by titles or resumes, how would you measure whether someone is truly winning in their career and in their life?
Wow, this is a deep question. So sorry. Let me think. How would you truly measure their success? I think not. Actually, I shouldn't say I think, because I hate when people, I am always telling people not to start sentences with I think, and have more, first of all, of what they say. If I think of success and it has nothing to do with titles, I don't believe success has anything to do with titles. I do believe it is about how much you are fulfilled and how you impact others. Success sometimes seems lonely. Success sometimes has a lot of doubt. But you'll know when you're successful, when you can smile, when you can look over what you're doing and you can smile about it, you can be proud about it. The people that you look up to will be proud of what you're doing. You're fulfilled. But most important to me, at least, is that you've impacted somebody other than yourself. You've made somebody, some organization, some cause better because you've touched it.
Yeah, definitely. It's the others. For me too. I totally agree. Valarie, this has been an absolutely phenomenal interview. Thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else or any note that you'd like to leave with our guests, our audience?
I think the thing I would say is the higher you go in success, sometimes the quieter the applause of the people, but it's okay. This is where you are supposed to be. Just be prepared. Be prepared. A lot of people say they aren't ready, but ready is often fear that's dressed up as logic. You're saying, logically, I'm not ready. No, that's just fear. If you are prepared, you're ready. Just go after it, do it. And then one last, I guess, plug I have to do is that we have this really, really cool AI partner that we want to make sure. So we want to make sure people are ready and they have a executive coach in their pocket at all times. So that's one of the cool things I think we're working on that I want companies to look into. Having an AI manager helps HR so they don't have to answer all the questions. We actually make sure that your policies, your procedures are in this AI manager tool. So it's their executive coach they can talk to every day. They know the rules of your company. They know the guidelines. They know things that are in the atmosphere for best, giving little micro nudges about how to make you a better manager, giving you assignments of, hey, I need to make sure you go in the meeting, you say something different. Like instead of, hey, I'm new to this, you can say, hey, I'm here to offer a fresh perspective. How can I help? Right? It's the little things that change you, how you show up and how you have the it factor. So I'm really excited about making that available for companies and people.
So if somebody wants to get in touch with you in order to support any of the initiatives that you're currently working on, or to get the AI buddy, or to sign up for the Salesforce course or any of your coursework, where would they go?
So rightnowsolutions.com. Directly, our website has contact forms. There's a contact form that has a drop down with all those things. So whichever thing you want to do, if it's workforce development, if you want to come have us come in and do a leadership retreat, if you want us to come in and do some staff development, team development, if you want us to create a cohort like we were talking about for these upskilling, it's all there. So it's a contact form drop down. We'll tell us if you want to talk to us about, and we'll hit you back up and set up a time to talk.
All right. That's right now with a W, WRIGHT, now
Yes.
Solutions.
Sorry.
Right.
Yes, I should have said that. Right.
Hey, I don't want to miss you, right?
It's solutions with an S. So
with an S.
WRIGHT, now NOW, solutions with an S.com. And I'm also on LinkedIn. We have a company page on LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn. So Valarie, VALARIE. People always spell Valarie wrong. So VALARIE, right, WRIGHT, Mackey, MACKEY. You can find me on LinkedIn anytime.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Valarie, for taking the time to meet with us.
This has been exciting. I must say thank you. And I'm so looking forward to watching all of your episodes. And congratulations to you for being a boss.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. This has been Boss Decoders, and we will see you guys next time. Signing off. Thanks again, Valarie. Bye-bye.
Thank you.